2 and 1. But speak thou the things which become it sound doctrine, that the aged women likewise, that they be in behavior, as become it holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed. Chaste conversations.
We're talking about strongholds, right? Um, does anybody know what a stronghold is?
I'm gonna just take a guess, like a holding down or a holding back,
Oh,
stronghold.
I like
That's
that.
that's what I'm
Con,
thinking of.
con.
I like that because I think that's what we're talking about, breaking the cycles, right? Breaking these curses, breaking these generational strongholds. So kind of like that, sis. You said to hold back or hold down. Something that's a stronghold is holding you back from getting where you need to be. So just keep in mind as we go through the scriptures that Rabbi is going to bring out tonight, that these strongholds are things that are keeping you down and keeping you back, keeping it from moving forward individually or as a family unit, right? Okay. And then, so they're harmful thoughts. Okay. These are arrogant attitudes, and these pass on and pass down. Worldly patterns. Okay. And what the doctors might call it, it's a
Hereditary.
spiritual, hereditary,
Hereditary.
hereditary. Okay. Right? So, and these things can only be defeated using wisdom.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1. All wisdom cometh from the Lord, and is with him forever. Who can number the sand of the sea and the drops of rain in the days of eternity? Who can find out the height of heaven and the breadth of earth and the deep in wisdom? Wisdom has been created before all things, and understanding of prudence for everlasting. The word of Most High, wait a minute, is the fount as the fountain of wisdom, and her ways are everlasting commandments. To whom has the root of wisdom been revealed, or who has known her wise counsels? Unto whom has the knowledge of wisdom been made manifest, and who has understood her great experience? There is one wise and greatly to be feared, the Lord sitting upon his throne. He created her and saw her and numbered her and poured her out upon all the works. She is with all flesh according to his gift, and he has given her to them that love him. The fear of the Most High is honor, and glory and gladness, and crown of rejoicing. The fear of the Most High make a merry heart, and giveth joy and gladness in a long life. Whoso fear the Most High, it shall go well with him at the last, and he shall find favor in the day of his death. The fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful in the womb. She has built an everlasting foundation with men, and she shall continue with their seed. The fear of the Most High is fullness of wisdom, and filleth men with her fruits. She filleth all their house with things desirable, and the gardeners with her increase. The fear of the Most High is a crown of wisdom, making peace, perfect health to flourish, both which are the gifts of Yahweh, and an enlargement and enlarge their rejoicing that love him. Wisdom raineth down skill and knowledge of understanding, and exhort them to honor that hold her fast. The root of wisdom is fear, the Most High, and the branches thereof are long life. The fear of the Most High driveth away sins, and where it is present, it is turning away wrath.
Wisdom is wise counsel. Wisdom is experience, the experience. Wisdom is the fear of the Most High. Okay. And we've done a study on what is wisdom. We've done a study on that before. Please go back and watch it. But we're talking today about using it to break these. You can't just say, I got wisdom. How are we using this wisdom to break these cycles? Okay. There's patterns we have patterns. Sisters, there are patterns that we have been handed down unbeknown to us. And then we only figure it out as we get older. Oh, this what my parents used to do. Or this is what they used to do in their relationship. And this is why I do the same. That's fine that I'm doing the same thing in mine. I'm repeating, what do you call it? Repeating the footsteps of my mother or the footsteps of my father or the footsteps of an auntie. You know, we have to break the cycle.
So Deuteronomy, everybody knows what Deuteronomy is, right? It's dabar. It means to do over. So 28 describes blessings and curses. Why we stay in the wilderness like we do. So it'll be 28, verse 20.
Okay. It says, the Most High shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. Verse 28, dropping down. The Most High shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
That's Christianity. Okay, that's that's Christianity. Go down to 30.
Verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather the grapes thereof.
That is slavery. That is what we went through. Because they allowed the Black man and wife to marry. And then they slept. The master slept with the wife. And so today's society, now you have it still happening, and people don't understand. Women are with their wife. Women marry, let the man build a house, put him out, and then she brings her boyfriend in. Go down to 32 is one of my favorites, and this is exactly what's happening today to a lot of mothers and their children. Go to 32. Read that for me, please.
Verse 32 says, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given to another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand.
That's CPS. So that is when mothers get their children taken away. And it happens a lot, especially during COVID, welfare, mothers losing their children. That's what that is right there.
Exactly. Those are some of just a few of the generational strongholds and the generational curses that are still in our households to this day. To this day, still in the nation of Israel to this day, because we are not applying, we're not seeking the Most High space. And then applying wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. We don't have the wisdom to apply it. We're not seeking her face.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Remember, we
So
we
you,
did we did the topic on this. Like wisdom is crying out. She's crying out to you, please, please. I'm trying to help you. And we do not want. We're like, no, I know better than that. I know what I want to do. I'm YOLOing. You know. Well, nothing ain't happened to grandmama and then when they did it, so I'm gonna do it too. I'm gonna be fine. Reliving these curses, and it's getting worse and worse. Our young girls are getting younger and younger, popping out babies. Our young girls are getting younger and younger, wearing booty shorts. Our young girls are getting younger and younger with the mentality of why even get married? Marriage? What is marriage? I ain't never seen anybody with a successful marriage. What am I getting married for?
It's all in on the airwaves, the television. That's what they see. They see their parents doing that, and they mimic after what they see.
so
And
one
there
of the
has to be
curses. Go ahead, Deborah.
I'll just say it has to be a change. We have to go back to the word. We have to start living according to the word. And even our foreparents, they were not taught correctly. They were not taught right. And it was handed down through all of us. And going to church, they were not telling us what really thus said the Lord. They were not telling us that. They were telling us what theology taught them.
Right. Right.
It was, man's take on it.
Right. The traditions of men.
Yes, yes.
And see that's that long chain, that long, thick old slavery chain.
Mm-hmm.
From great grandma all the way down to us right now.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be broken. But how can you blame your daughter for going out there and living her life worldly in the world if you did not teach her better?
Mm-hmm.
How can you blame the child? Somebody has to take accountability.
If the mother's doing wrong and you know your mom is doing wrong, don't get mad at her for that, because at the end of the day, she's your mother. You have to show to be an example, because your children are going to look at you. And they're going to look at mom, but they're going to look at you more so. And then your children will respect you, because at the end of the day, it's all about respect. No matter what you do in this life, it's about how you handle yourself as a human being. That's what people are going to remember. They're not going to remember anything else. If you carry yourself a certain way, be assertive about it, that's what they're going to remember.
Right.
Once you leave this earth, that's what they will remember. So
we gotta stick to our guns, because a lot of the times a lot of parents, they back down or back, because we're afraid to come off as the bad guy. We're
yes,
afraid, but and I'm afraid you're gonna lose that child to whatever it is because they don't agree with the rules, But if you are applying wisdom, if you're reading this book and you're doing thus saith the Most High and using his words and applying it and repeating it to your child, that's all that you should be doing and moving forward. Because if that child chooses now that they want to go down this path, you at least did your job.
but most people, I hope everybody on here knows that we're spirit. And we're not fighting, we're fighting in the spiritual realm. Everything that we're doing is spirit. And until we understand that and try not to forget that, we're going to be in the wilderness, constantly fighting in your head and not knowing that it's not in your head, it's real. So, but you're going to automatically assume that you're doing it yourself. And you're not doing it yourself. It is a spirit that wants to lead you, and you have to be able to identify if this is a good spirit, or this is a familiar spirit, or this is something that I know that shouldn't be here. You have to be able to discern that. And that is the reason why most of us are walking around still in the same place that we started from, and we're trying to figure out how we getting out of here. And the only way you're going to do it is to stay in the scripture and ask sisters to help you. Because if you don't, you're going to be wandering. And I know a lot of wandering souls.
That's exactly what I was going to add to it. I see it, Sister Sheila, because, a lot of the times, just because we could think we're in the spirit all day, but there is that time, just like there are a time when you might mean well and you might be on this path, yes, but at some point you might be out of the spirit. You might, and it's for someone to be able to recognize that and check you, and because you might not realize it. And I only say that because of the example. Shalom, Sister Chaya, the example, and there's many more, but the one where Peter, the Most High, Hamashiach had to tell him, "Get behind me." So he was talking to, was it Peter? When he said, no, he said, "Get behind me," because he recognized the spirit on him at that moment,
Right.
Okay, there's many other examples, but we get out of the spirit at times. So like you said, like what you said, we have to hold each other accountable. Israel is not just one, and we should not be afraid to, to let people see us on this walk, because I want to make sure I'm walking correctly.
Proverbs 22:1, a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold.
Khan.
We don't want to get into the point, we want to break one of the cycles, which is saying we're going to do something and not actually doing it. But if you say you're going to put your hand to this plow and then you turn back around like, no, you know what? Whoa, onto you, right?
Yes.
You got to mean what you say. So when you vow a vow and you don't fulfill that vow, whoa. The Most High don't take kindly to truce breaker, to breakers of the contracts and no. We're not, what do you call them? Esau does that. He breaks contracts. We say, I've heard so many stories, and in my own life, I could give a testimony of, it's a generational stronghold when somebody in your household, your mother, your daddy told you something and he always said he was going to be around. I'll pick you up on, this weekend. I'm going to get, or whatever it is. I'm going to do this or that. And you don't do it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people look at that person like a liar. We know that person to be a liar. Right?
Khan.
The Most High don't like that. That's a curse we got to break. That's giving the enemy ammunition. Okay. To use against you now. You see that? This child is so used to you breaking your word, not being a man of your words, not standing on your word, or or a woman of your word. And now they doing it. It's habit. It's second nature to them, because it's so normal when they were growing up, when we was growing up, and now you're doing it. Don't realize you're doing it, but it's part of the cycle.
We are Sirach, chapter 1, 25. The parables of knowledge are in the treasures of wisdom, but godliness is an abomination to a sinner. If thou desire wisdom, keep the commandments, and the Lord shall give her unto thee. For the fear of the Lord is wisdom and instruction, and faith and meekness are his delight. Distrust not the fear of the Lord when thou art poor, and come not unto him with a double heart. 29. Be not a hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest. Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall and bring dishonor upon thy soul. And so God discover thy secrets and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation, because thou camest not in truth to the fear of the Lord, but thy heart is full of deceit.
Okay. In order to break something, is if I'm pulling on, if I'm trying to break this chain, what do I need to do to break it? What actions do I need to take to break it? I literally have to stand firm, have a firm grip. And in my mind, I know already, okay? It all starts in the mind, because that's what they say. If you believe it, you'll achieve it. Even that's even in defeat. If you think you're gonna lose, you're gonna lose. We always tell our children that. Don't say that. Don't put that on yourself. Don't, you know what I'm saying? It all starts in the mind. And so wisdom is not double-minded. I think, no. Okay, there's no hypocrisy there. There's no hypocrisy there.
It's only if you have a split tongue. You don't say what you mean and you don't mean what you say.
What
That's the only
they call
time
that
that is there.
What they call that, a fork tongue?
There you go, a fork tongue.
Yeah.
Telling your age.
Listen, enough. When how we are disagreeing, that gives also ammunition to the enemy, because disagreeing causes contention, causes strife, causes ripples and effects. And then we let it fester on and we go sleep on it, and then it turns into something else, right? So to break that, okay, we have to digress and hear each other out. Khan Amaraba?
Khan.
I think that's what we was talking about. We have to digress. This is what breaking this chain looks like. And listen to each other. We always ready to rebuttal without really listening. A lot of us really don't be listening. If I listen to if I hear what you say and I have to repeat it, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to repeat what you said. Why? Because I wasn't actually listening to you. I was formulating in my mind what I'm going to respond and say. And then that's where the miscommunication is in. That's where it comes into disagreements. Okay. So we have to listen, stop, think, listen, and then find a resolution, a common ground, a commonality, a common ground where we can move forward. You might not, maybe not resolve the whole thing then and there, but to be able to respectfully hear each other out, right? And find a common ground. Because sometimes it takes for that person to get a second witness or read through the scriptures themselves or experience this whatever situation it is before they come back and, you know what, you was right. You was right. And who are we not to allow that time to happen? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. The fester.
Right. Okay. And I put that as a generational stronghold because in our community, we like to disagree on everything. We don't find commonalities. We be disagreeing all day long. Okay. I see you, Sister Charlamagne.
Can I repeat Sirach chapter 1 and 30 again?
Go ahead.
It's just popping up, and it's a precept off of just a continuation, like it just keeps repeating itself. But this is Sirach chapter 1 verse 30. Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall, and bring dishonor upon thy soul. And so God discovered thy secrets and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation, because thou camest not in truth to the fear of the Lord, but thy heart is full of deceit. I had to read that again because it's so easy for us. Definitely, I have gone through this many times over and over and over in a fast, many times over and over in prayer through this walk. And when we think that we're being confident, and then we just put ourselves in a position that is not confident, and we think we look cute when we're speaking out of tone and shaking our head and moving our whatevers, and we think we look cute. But as I read this last scripture in Sirach, and there are just so many beautiful scriptures in this chapter, exalt not thyself. So who comes first? The Most High. Lest thou fall. And I just don't want to fall and hurt myself and bring dishonor upon thy soul. So then I dishonor not just myself, I dishonor my husband, I dishonor the Most High, I dishonor Yahushai. So there's many layers to how that dishonor comes. And so God discovers thy secret. So there's so many deep things that are going on through this process. And for me, fasting and prayer has been my cleansing to really get humble and be truthful to myself. And then you look different. You don't look the same.
No.
You physically look different. Your spirit you look different as a person. And so I've caught myself looking in the mirror going, wait a minute, I look different. Even people, oh, you look different. And that's, when you do that work. So for me, this is a very big verse. This is a big chapter, but this is a big verse.
It is.
It's a big one.
It is. And that's applying the wisdom. That's why you look different, because you actually applying it. When you got the ointment, and the Most High giving us the ointment, we got it sitting on the dresser, looking like a prop, holding up books. Like, you're supposed to apply the ointment. And
so I got a precept.
Okay.
Salakia. Exodus 34, verse 7.
Keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and upon the children's children onto the third and fourth generation.
Go down to 9.
Verse 9. And he said, if now I have found grace in thy sight, O Lord, let my Lord, I pray thee, go among us, for it is a stiff-necked people, and pardon our iniquity and our sin, and take us for thine inheritance.
Ooh.
So that was what you just said, Shah, Yeah. And that's why we're, in the wilderness. And that's why we can't come out, because we refuse to. We refuse to come out.
And you see that visiting the iniquity of the children and the children, generation.
Yep.
This is what is happening to us, is what we're doing to our children when we don't break the cycle. If we want better for our community, for your household, for your marriage, for your sisterhood, for your unity, for your, this is what we need to be doing daily. We all need to be applying this ointment, using this wisdom. That's the only way. And it can't just be one of us, because whoever played tug of war with just one person on the end of the rope? It takes all of us. You about what happened.
I'm
You know?
laughing because there is actually a verse in here about that too. Which I just gotta find.
All praises. All praises. It was Sirach chapter 27, verse 7. Oh, this is the one that says, praise no man before thou hearest him speak, for this is the trial of men.
Con.
I think we had brought that out when we were speaking because again, it ties into knowing exactly what you're getting yourself into. And you would, and a lot of the times, if we just sit back and observe, this is what the example you gave. So I'm just stealing what Amarabah says. But if you sit back, you have people that's called observers. We don't call them that, but that's what they are. We might, a lot of us might call them reaps. I don't know, but they just sit back and they watch. They don't move saying a whole lot because they want to understand exactly your intentions, or they're listening to what you're saying before they speak, or they're watching your moves before they make a move. Those are some of the best chess players too. The ones that be sitting there like, and you're like, hurry it up, hurry up. And they got to, you know what I'm saying? They're looking at the future, really. They're looking at what might transpire. Well, if he go there, I'm gonna end up over here. And if he take me down there, then not thinking about the now, but you know, right, Amaraba?
Con. They call watchers.
Watchers.
And
Watchers.
we all have them. We all know someone like that. We all have seen it. And just so that you understand that when you see people do it, just step back and just watch. Because when we read the scripture, Yahweh is actually telling us to do just that. He always tells us, watch your mouth, your tongue.
Right.
You lashing out. But we think that if we say the wrong thing, it offends. But it's how you use your words. It's how when we open our mouth, make sure it is of the Father. Make sure every word is of him. If not, keep your mouth closed. Be humble in your own spirit. He tells us that. And what we do the opposite. But I think as we get older, we become more humble.
Oh, life will humble you.
Yes, it
life
will.
Humble you. You know, hopefully. If because one of those strongholds there again too with that precept is we always quick to credit somebody, and then we fall into a lot of relationships that way. Ladies, we fall into a lot of traps that way. You know, he ain't really what he said he bounces. Did you look? Did you listen to what he really was going? Did you see? You know, she said flashback. Flashback. When know what you're getting yourself into. Don't credit no man before thou hearest him speak. And when he need to be
my goodness,
speaking.
that's in scripture too.
Okay, listen to what's coming out of his mouth. You know how we be bobbing our head to the music out there? Well, when we was in the world, we'd be bobbing our head to the music and this worldly music, and we don't know half of what they saying. We don't know half of what they say, half of it, actually more than half of it. And then when you run it back years later, he was saying this. He was saying that.
Like that song Mary Jane. I didn't even know they were talking about marijuana.
Oh Lord.
Oh yeah, Rick James, yes. Don't feel bad. Yep. I thought, yeah, you're right. I thought they were talking about Candy.
I thought they were
Candy Mary Jane. Yep. And I was like, yeah, Mary Jane, me too. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Listen,
Oh
don't
Lord.
just don't just clap it. We be sitting there Sunday church, yes. Yeah. You don't know what he talking about. And what he talking about, it's don't line up with the word. But yet you
Yeah.
crediting this man.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
this brother came spitting to you, you credited him, but it ain't right. He ain't about what he's like. Sisters, we have to do better. Okay. And sometimes somebody will come to you and say to you, whether it's a friend or family member, they might come and tell you, sis, you just started going out with this brother, but everything all right? Is everything okay? Because sometimes they might be peeping something you don't because you just in the clouds. You head over heels. You ate up everything he was dishing out. You sopped it up with 2 biscuits real quick. It might be somebody you don't even, a sister you never really talked to, but you seen her in church. She'd be sitting, you seen her in church. She'd just come up to you one day and sis, you sure you know that brother? You just thinking she want him. Well, she must want him. I'm saying that because we have people that sometimes will see things that you're not seeing, that we are not seeing because we did what? We credited this person before we did our due diligence. We credited them. And that's a cycle. That's a cycle. It's a cycle.
Ooh.
Jumping into relationships really quick. You want to know why your daughter's that way? You did it. Because all he had to do was whisper 2 words in your ear. You see that?
A lot of times women jump into things. It's not so much that they like the guy, it's something in their past. They're lacking, they're missing. So when Prince Charming come and he could be a frog, you automatically just happy. You're happy that you got somebody that came to you. You know what I mean? And a lot of time that's what we do. We may not even like the person, but because they came in our life at a time when we want somebody there.
Yeah, we was low.
Then,
we was low.
After a while, then we start abusing them.
We was
you know
low.
What I mean?
The devil know when
because
to infiltrate.
Yeah.
Yep.
He know when to catch that weak Giselle in the back. We see in the Animal Planet. He don't go for them strong ones that's in the front that using wisdom. He go for the weak one in the back that's off alone. Lottie dottie do. She alone. She vulnerable right now. They want that one.
Yes.
And you know what? It's because they have a love relationship with Yah. That's why. I'm gonna tell you, when my husband died in 95, I prayed that he would keep me. And I tell you what, he has been everything to me and has kept me since 1995 when my husband died. Nobody but Yah. And if you have a love relationship with Yah, you don't, I don't, loneliness. No, all you get in his word and meditate on his word.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, it will come to pass. Those lonely feelings will go. I have not been lonely since my husband passed. I have not been lonely for a companionship because he is my husband. It's I think it's a mind thing,
Yes.
It's just mental, but if you don't know him, then that's what you're going to result to. What in the airways, what you see on TV, thinking that person is going to give you what you need. And it's not. Who you need is him.
Yes.
And he will give you the desires of your heart if that's
All
what
praises.
you choose.
Exactly. If you wait on the Lord, but we don't want to wait. We want it's a microwave generations we got. We want everything now, and we jump from outer one right into the other one without clothes. Because we ain't even washed up yet from the last one. We just going. But like you said, Deborah, it's in your mental because
Mhm.
And of course you know, sisters, you're not gonna get none of any of what we're saying if you don't seek the Most High first. You gotta
That's
make
right.
sure you gotta be up here with us first. You gotta be here.
That's
Okay.
right.
Yes.
Otherwise, what we're saying ain't gonna make any sense. But
That's
your
And you
right.
know what? I
weapons,
want to say this. I
yeah.
was 39. I was 39 years old. That's young. Okay, because I've had people to say, well, you know, you're old now. I wasn't always old. This
Mm,
happened when I was 39,
mm,
and that is young.
Right.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
he
Yeah,
will
but
keep you if you allow him to, if you
Con.
ask him to.
Mm,
Con sister. So we're gonna wrap it up, but like, you know, wisdom is a beautiful thing, and we could use this wisdom. We could use it, y'all,
mm,
because remember, just like the adversary wants to mock the Most High and be like him, he have all these strongholds against us and all these chains to bind us, but we could break it. Okay, so we have
mm,
these things that are against us, but if we use wisdom as our shield, the Most High as our shield and buckler, apply this wisdom, we can actually use it for what the definition is, which is
mm.
stronghold is supposed to be a safe from attack. It's a fortress. That's what a stronghold's supposed to be, supposed to look
time,
like. A fortress
time.
against these attacks from the enemy. You see that?
Oh,
You see that?
oh,
You see that?
okay.
Okay. It's meant to
Okay.
keep people or valuables safe. And that's what
Mm,
wisdom, that's what the Most High wants to do. That's what he gives you wisdom for, to
Time.
keep his valuables safe. You see that?
yes. Yes.
The
Okay.
other
We're
part to that,
valuable. Mm,
it's a way of thinking and feeling that
mm,
has developed a life of its own in a person, reoccurring unbelief, uh, habitual bad temper.
mm.
So you know what
So
that
see,
is,
yeah,
right?
that's what we was talking about earlier with the worldly patterns and the arrogant attitudes. Those are the
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
strongholds that keeps us back.
That's
But
right.
when we use wisdom as our stronghold, now that's a defense against all this. No, come on, you can't infiltrate none of this once you have wisdom, and you can only get wisdom if you seek in the Most High space.
Time.
Like, no,
Unforgiveness. Somebody made you mad and you're not willing to forgive them at that moment
oh,
because you ain't got time for that.
that's a
You
big
made
one.
me mad. You shouldn't have did it.
That's
But
a
you
Mm-hmm.
big
said, you
one.
know what? I apologize that I made you mad. I don't want you to feel that way. And
That's
you
a
tell them I love you. And that is it. So you see, you already broke the chain on your end.
mm,
Mm,
They'll hold it on their
mm,
end. They'll hold
mm.
it.
you better
They'll
go.
hold it.
What the listen, didn't they say you reaping heaps of coal on their head? Because they weren't expecting that. They weren't expecting you to pull out that fortress and use that shield. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
Time. Yep.
mm.
No. They weren't expecting that the adversary be waiting for you to react a certain way and fall back into these old, strongholds. But
Mm.
no, like Shalomit said, like I'm different now. I'm a new creature now. So what does this new creature look like? What does she
Yep.
sound like? What is she moving like?
Yep.
What tools she bringing out now? How's she gonna
Yep.
handle this situation?
Con.
You know, every time you go to sleep and you wake up, you're a new person. Every time
All
you close your
praises.
eyes and open your eyes, you're a new person.
All praises.
You
And
have
we have to
another day to
understand
make it
that
right. You
every
have
day you
another
close
day.
your eyes and you close your eyes and go to sleep and you wake up, you are a new person because you can't think about yesterday because yesterday was old. And when you open up your eyes, that's new. That
Mhm.
is a new day.
Mhm.
And we supposed to feel like it's a new day. That's a new time in our life. It's a new beginning.
That's
That
true.
is such an awesome feeling. If you understood that, it is
Mm.
new.
That is true. That is true. You
And
can't.
Mhm.
you have that. You know, nothing that
Mm,
happened, you just started today. So what you got bills? We all got bills. You can't pay half of them. Guess what? Join the line. It's a whole picket line. But you have to know how to put things in perspective so that you can see where
Mhm.
you're walking to. Yahweh say, put your footsteps. As you're walking, he's walking with you. So you
Con.
must lay all your bearings down upon him. You must say, okay, you know what? Throw it on to him, throw it onto the ground, say it one time, but don't keep repeating it, because when we start repeating over and over and over, that's when we lose focus. And then we'll end up in the world, and you'll end up in the wilderness. So when you ask for something, ask for it knowing that you already received it.
Got it. And
You
leave
may
it
not
there.
get it today,
Con.
the next day, but you will get it. But you must really
Con.
believe in your heart that you have it and act like you got it.
Right. Had somebody to call. I don't care what it is. Sometimes some of us need to realize that we are weaker than others. And it's okay. Because where you weak, your other sister might be strong for you. And we can pick up the phone, send me a text if I can't something. And that's why it's good for us to surround ourselves. Again, we cannot pull on this tug of war rope just with one person on one side. Or what you know, it's we need a group. It's all of us to break this cycle. Otherwise, we're going to keep repeating it and repeating it. And we know the definition of repeating the same thing over and over and over is what? Insanity.
That strongholds mean also that everything you see on TV is not of the Most High. With the elections, don't believe everything that you hear. Most of it don't apply to us. If it's not applying to us, we should not accept it. We shouldn't even allow anybody to bring it to ear. Because once they bring it to ear and you in on the conversation, it becomes a stronghold in your mind. Now you take it to work. Now you're frustrated. Now you can't even communicate with the people that are around you because of what you just saw on TV or what somebody just told you in your head. Now you're mad. Now you're mad. Now you don't went to work. You're mad at work. And now you go home. Now your family wants your time, and you can't give your family your time because you still got that stronghold in your head, and you don't even know how to release it. So I just want y'all to understand when that happens, just open up the Bible. That is it. Just open it up and just start reading. Read until it comes off of you, until your mind is more relaxed. Sometime a couple of minutes, sometime an hour or two, you need to continue reading. Once you read and the spirit knows that you want to be fulfilled, spirit will help you out. But until then, you're going to have that stronghold on you and you're not going to understand why. And that is definitely a generation curse, but you need to understand and to be able to identify a stronghold. And they come swiftly when you don't.
Tactics.
They come.
That's a lot. When you underestimate the adversary and his devices and his tactics, that's
right.
when you fall short.
Yes.
But I wanted to end it with what you had told me, Amara, about a while ago, not too long ago. But sisters, if you're going through things in your household, in your marriage, in your life, even yourself, or you just you need to break some generational strongholds, period. Point blank. Amara, you told me. Read Psalms, was it 35 and 36?
Yes.
Read it, sis. Trust a sister who has done it. Okay? Recently. Read it before you go to sleep. 35 and 36. And read it before your feet touch the ground in the morning time. Okay? 35 and 36 of Psalms. Read it for 3 days straight. Now, I'm not saying you can't keep reading it, but you probably got other books to read, but read it for 3 days straight with the conviction. Like we say, when we pray to the Most High for something, leave it there. Don't keep going back to it. I'm praying. Maybe I got to sweat while I'm praying. Maybe I need to go under the bed and pray. No, pray and leave it there. Because in his time, he will answer that prayer. It just may not look how you think is going to be answered or be answered the day you want it to be answered, but he's working. He is working. But Psalms 35 and 36, for 3 days straight, Read it. That's it. That's it. Generational curse, generational strongholds, any contracts, verbal or written by the adversary, we break in because we applying wisdom, knowledge, and understanding given to us by the Father. All praise
Shake
to
it
the
up,
Most High.
shake it up, shake it up.
Kind. God. Well, I would, and with that being said, all praises to the Most High, the water for being here, family. Same time, same place, same beauty. Chase Made is our.
Duty.
No, she did not. It's our duty, y'all. She is something else. All praise to the Most High. Y'all have a good evening.